Are you being breadcrumbed by your avoidant partner or your avoidant ex? Are they keeping you on the hook? Are you addicted to them? Are you addicted to their breadcrumbs? Breadcrumbing is when a person gives you just enough attention, just enough validation, just enough to keep you on the hook. They're not giving you nearly enough for a fulfilling relationship. It's not meeting your emotional needs at all. But the little breadcrumbs that they give you, the little scraps of attention, are just enough to give you that dopamine reward to keep you on the hook, wanting more, sticking around, chasing more. Breadcrumbing can often follow a period of no contact. When they suddenly start to reappear into your life, giving you little hints of attention, little clues that maybe the relationship will be rekindled. Or maybe you're still in the relationship, technically, but they're not really making plans with you, showing up once in a while, texting you here and there, giving you just enough validation to keep you sticking around. But you are going through a whirlwind of anxiety. You are feeling that hot and cold behavior. You're not knowing where you stand. You're feeling uncertainty. And uncertainty creates anxiety. An anxious attachment is created when your emotional needs are met sometimes, but then it's pulled away. So your brain gets trained that anytime you're getting that love and affection, it can be taken away from you. And breadcrumbing definitely perpetuates anxiety. So how do you break free of that breadcrumbing? You have to hold boundaries. And you also have to understand why you're addicted to the breadcrumbing. It's a psychological principle called intermittent reinforcement. And intermittent reinforcement is more addictive than consistent reinforcement, meaning a person that gives you love and affection, but only once in a while, is actually more addictive than a person that gives you consistent love and affection. Now, the person that gives you consistent love and affection is ultimately going to provide a much more fulfilling relationship. But the addictive nature of the intermittent reinforcement can't be denied. It even works in animals. Teach a dog how to do a trick, but you give it a treat every time, it's less likely to perform the trick on command than if you give him the treat only every once in a while. Intermittent reinforcement is addictive because you're on that roller coaster ride. And when you get the positive reinforcement, it comes with such a dopamine hit that you're riding out the lows to get back to the next high. It is an addiction. It rewires the brain. You become conditioned to accept breadcrumbs and to enjoy those breadcrumbs. Meanwhile, you're actually suffering with enormous anxiety. Healthy people, emotionally healthy people, do not breadcrumb partners because breadcrumbing involves a lack of empathy. The person doing the breadcrumbing is only thinking of themselves. They are validation seeking. That's why they breadcrumb to begin with. Giving just enough to keep that attention pouring in, to keep that external validation flowing, to know that they are still wanted, that this person still wants them, to get that attention without really giving anything of themselves, without risking emotional intimacy, without fear of rejection, because they're not giving enough to be vulnerable. So, the way you cut this off is you cut that person off, you hold a boundary. Boundaries being your limits of what you want, what you don't want, what you need, what you don't need, what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate, and what your expectations are. Without setting boundaries, you're never going to break free of that breadcrumbing. And you can simply say, hey, the inconsistency here is not something that works for me. If you're looking to actually build a fulfilling, real relationship where we both feel secure and both are able to communicate and be consistent, then that's something I'm willing to work with. But if not, this dynamic doesn't work for me. And if you're not able to do that, then I ask you to please give me my space so I can heal and move on. And there you go. If they're not interested in forming a real relationship where you both can securely communicate and actually grow that intimacy and that bond together, they're likely to run away. And yeah, you might lose that person you're addicted to, but you know what? As time goes on, the brain heals and you lose that addiction and you start to feel a lot better and you lose that anxiety because you're showing up for yourself. And in every action and inaction that we take, we send ourselves a powerful message. When you allow yourself to be breadcrumbed, you're unfortunately telling yourself that it's okay to be treated this way. It's okay to be an option. It's okay to be breadcrumbed. That's all you deserve. That's what you're telling yourself, whether you realize it or not. But when you hold the boundaries, you're telling yourself and the other person that this is not okay, that you're not an option, and you deserve somebody that'll prioritize you the way you prioritize them. Don't sell yourself short. Hold the boundaries, bite the bullet, get it done because you deserve more, because you give more, and you deserve somebody that gives the same in return. Don't sell yourself short.